What's up, awesome, lovable humans? It is AP from Billy Doodle. I would say, welcome to Billy Doodle, home of self-improvement videos, funny stuff, tips about living in a different country, maybe a little bit of me playing The Sims. But this is literally my first YouTube video, so, yeah, I don't have anything. So, if you're wondering why I might have bad video quality, or a bad mic, or what have you, that's probably why. But I was hoping that my YouTube channel could be a place for sexual, gender, and racial minorities to basically improve themselves and to have a safe space where they can do that and also have a little bit of fun, maybe. So if you guys like that, then give a thumbs up and maybe subscribe for more. I'm not going to be pushing anyone to subscribe at the moment because this is the first time I've made a YouTube video. If you're a young person who is trying to just make your way through high school, or make it to the end of college, or find a job in the corporate sphere, or maybe you're past all of those things and you just like hearing me talk, I am all for that. I am going to be adding all of my sources that I use at the bottom because I'm a nerd and researched this topic before I did this video. Okay, let's go. So I think it's only right that we talk about imposter syndrome and what it is and the definition of it. Imposter syndrome is basically this state in which you are doubting your achievements, have a sense that you are a fraud, and doubt that you belong there. One fact is that imposter syndrome is common in minorities. One study actually found that imposter syndrome is more common in Latinx, African American, and Asian American college students. And here's one interesting fact y'all are gonna like. So, philosophical question. Who do you think is more likely to cheat in a test? Is it the person with imposter syndrome? Or is it the person who believes that they deserve to be somewhere? Because there's actually an interesting study. It found that actually people who do not have imposter syndrome are more likely to cheat in a test. Turns out we ain't the imposters. Ferrari and Thompson did a study in which college students who had imposter syndrome were less likely to cheat in examinations and to plagiarize written assignments. I realized, what better way to do a video about imposter syndrome than to tell you all the ways that don't work. Well, specifically 3 important things that just don't work, because I thought that'd be a heck of a lot more interesting than a video about how to manage it, because typically if you look for those kinds of videos, you're gonna see several different videos or several different articles all with the same tips. So I'm gonna tell you how not to make it all a train wreck. So, tip that doesn't actually work, number 1, trying to defeat imposter syndrome. It's kind of like the Babadook. Basically, there's a mindset switch that needs to happen. I think a lot of us have this concept of imposter syndrome, that we are this knight in armor, and we have our sword, and we are about to vanquish the dragon that is the imposter syndrome.
Aha, I'm dead.
Or once we defeat the dragon, then we shall be free. And that really isn't the case. Mainly because imposter syndrome is very much a cognitive distortion. Now, for those of you who do not know what cognitive distortions are, a cognitive distortion is basically a kind of negative automatic thought that can come to a person. Psychology Today lists a large number of cognitive distortions, and one of them is minimizing, lowering the value of your own achievements, and that is certainly part of imposter syndrome. Like any cognitive distortion, imposter syndrome isn't something that needs to be defeated, it's something that needs to be managed, which is why I, the person who is making this video, am telling you that even I still have imposter syndrome, because it's not something that you can defeat and then just say, oh, I am the expert at this. But really, it's something that we all need to manage. I actually read a book that's really great about negative automatic thinking and how it relates to cognitive distortions and how it relates to maybe certain habits or certain addictions or what have you. You are not your brain. It's basically a map of how your brain works and how you can stand up to any negative thought pattern and negative automatic thoughts that arise. It's great. I might even do a book review on it sometime if anyone who is watching this is into book reviews. So then we come to number 2, which is another mind shift change. All of the things that don't work that I'm going to tell you are kind of about mindset, because that's really what it's all about. The second one is the misperception that time heals everything. I had this perception for a really long time, and I feel like the younger you are and the earlier you are in your education, you have this impression, especially if you haven't graduated grade school yet. I had the impression that, like, okay, well, you know, like, I feel like a loser right now, but I guess that's just because I'm in grade 8. When I get to maybe grade 12, I'll feel better about myself. Maybe when I get to college, or, you know, when I get a great job. So I'm here, and over the years, I have gotten into good schools, gotten awesome grades, become the teacher's favorite in a lot of my college courses, and I got a great job, and here I am still from time to time having this imposter syndrome. That's another mindset change that we need to have, that the best time to deal with these feelings and to manage these feelings and to recognize these feelings is now, is the present moment. We cannot just wait until they go away, because they're gonna come back. They require, first and foremost, acknowledgement, and secondly, management. And I might go into more detail about that. I'm not sure if I really feel like I have the expertise with imposter syndrome. And the third other tactic that I find does not work. I hear this a lot. I hear this in certain articles, and I do hear this in certain trainings that I am provided at work about imposter syndrome and career management, etc. There are experts who say, well, you can view this as a positive thing. What is wrong with being a perfectionist in everything you do? You know, what is wrong with feeling like you have to prove yourself in everything you go into? In theory, there's nothing wrong with that. And here's where my personal opinion comes into play, as someone who has had mental health issues and has constantly battled with so many different things. There is nothing theoretically wrong with trying to be great in everything that you do and trying to prove yourself in every field that you are in every space that you are in. But imposter syndrome is different than perfectionism. Imposter syndrome is a negative automatic thought, and when it becomes a pattern, it's a negative automatic thought pattern, aka it makes you feel like crap. So I would say that if you want to view it as a positive thing that makes you get along better in life, all the more power to you. But I think that recognizing that the things that you think about yourself are not true, and having that as your primary focus to manage it, as opposed to trying to spin it into something positive when you really don't feel that way, it just seems disingenuous to me. It doesn't seem like it's in line with a lot of techniques for managing emotions and negative thinking. So I'm just gonna basically end this video talking about one of the more boring aspects of imposter syndrome, if you've looked up how to manage imposter syndrome, which is one of the best solutions that you can find in the research about imposter syndrome, is just having individuals as a support system to remind you of your achievements. Essentially, one of the best things is having hype men. But I would say one of the other things is to actively monitor your thoughts and emotions and really learn to face them head on and deal with them when you see them. I just want to tell anyone who's facing this right now, you are awesome, you are amazing, you have achieved so much. Write a list if you don't believe me. I don't even know you, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna come up with a good list. I really just want to leave you with that. I know that this is my first YouTube video. If you would like to be gentle with me and give me some gentle constructive criticism, go on right ahead. And maybe give some suggestions as to how I might change the topics of my videos, what other topics I can cover next. And I'll see everybody later.